Hi, everybody. Excuse me. I'm a few minutes early, so I want to give a chance for everybody to get in and then we can chat. But in the meantime, let me know if you're here. Drop your name in your comments, in the comments. Let me know who you are, where you're from. I would love to know. And let me know if you know whether or not you're going back in the classroom or doing distance this year. I'm going to talk a little bit about engagement and managing in both today. So, I'll also share some new bingo boards with you that just went up in the store. We'll talk a little bit about the sale and then I'll take some questions. So, drop who you are, say hi in the comments, let me know who's here. I would love to know more about you. And we'll get started in just a couple of minutes. I'm going to let everybody kind of get in. And I want to know how everybody's doing because I'm really stressed, and I think most people probably are. So I want to try and help if I can. Let me know who you are, what you're doing. In case you missed it, and I'll talk about this more later, but there is a TPT sale going on, so definitely don't miss that. It goes through tomorrow at midnight. So I never that's the best time to buy anything because everything's up to 25% off. It's the best time to um, get bundles, to get started, all that kind of stuff. So, but I know that a lot of you are really struggling with, am I distance? Am I in the classroom? Or am I hybrid? What am I doing? So I'll also share some ideas about how to make investments in materials that are not just one or the other. So I'll tell you a little bit about some of the materials that I am in the midst of modifying. All right, no one's going to talk to me today. All righty, hop in, say hi, drop me a comment. I am going to just check the comments here, make sure that they're not showing up. Sometimes they don't show up on my tool for this. No, 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 no. I don't want to hear myself. All right. Just wanted to make sure. Okay. Well, then I'm going to go ahead and get started. You can, if you come in, let me know how you're doing. I'd love to hear it. And I want to share with you hi, Christina. I'm going to share with you the bingo activities that I have. Now, they come in printable as well as in Google Slides so that you can use them whether you're doing distance learning or whether you are doing classroom learning. And I did them for a couple reasons because I really think that in both places, we're really going to have to work at the beginning of the year to get the kids engaged. If they are in distance learning, I think that we know that we need to really work at getting our kids engaged in the live face-to-face interaction, particularly. If they're in the classroom, I think things are going to be so different that we're going to want to really have ways to bring them in and get them really engaged. And so one way I can think of doing that is to just do really quick, simple games that you start every live session with, or that you can do in the classroom, maybe as you rotate centers. If you're in the classroom with mitigation and your students are in one place and the staff is moving, they're not going to be moving as much. So I'm going to share my screen really quickly as soon as I remember how to do that. Okay. Go to my default. Don't need to do that. All right, let me close this so you can see. That was not what I wanted to do. Let's try this again. There we go. Finally. So these are the Google Slides, and there's also a PDF that's just the bingo board. So you can use them with your own materials or laminate them and have students use dry erase markers with them. That way you don't have to worry about them holding markers and things like this. But on the Google Slides, you can actually, here's how I would do it. Everybody has a bingo board. I would use a spinner, and there's a link to a spinner in the product, and put the exercises in the spinner and spin online so they can see it. And then whoever has whatever the exercise is, so let's say it's jumping jacks that shows up, then not only would they put a marker on the jumping jacks, which they can do by just moving the markers, then they also have to show you a jumping jack. You could also add twists to it of whoever's the first one gets to pick how many jumping jacks everyone has to do. You could do it in a lot of different ways. And then, so obviously we've got a free space, so we can just move the piece over there. Whoever who has to just, you spin it, it says squats, they say, I have it. Well, they have to move one over there and they have to show you. And then somebody can pick how many you have to do. It's just a way of getting some more movement into their day and building on it that way. You can decide if you want it to be fill the whole card or if you want it to be just 3 in a row, depending on how much time you want to take with it. So it's a really good way just to get some movement and some engagement at the beginning of an online session. It's also a really good way to get some movement in between rotations or in between transitions in the classroom where they're not going to be able to move around the classroom as much. There are also, so there's 5 of those. There are also 5 kindness bingos. And the way that I see them being used is to, again, you've got a free space, so move your piece over there. And then you do a spinner and it says help a friend. And so whoever has help a friend and puts a marker on then needs to tell you one way later today, that they could help a friend. Say nice things. What's one thing they could say that was nice to somebody in their house if it's distance learning or in their classroom? I tried to choose just things that they would have to deal with at home. They can greet people, they could hold the door, listen to others. I tried to only choose things that they could also do at home or at school. But it's a good way to kind of practice kindness, to work on building some of those social emotional learning skills that I think a lot of our students may be struggling with at this time. And so you can see, they're in Google Slides. You can assign one board to one student, to each student. So they would call them up and they could play. And you can share the spinner on your Zoom or just give them the PDF cards and laminate them and use a dry erase marker. They can mark them off as they go. And again, you can decide how long you want the game to go. So why is this important? Let me stop sharing my screen and I will share with you why I think this is important. I think it is important because I think that our students are going to need to have, well, that was interesting. That was not what I meant to do. We'll go back to this. Okay, so I think it's going to be important to get that exercise in there. But I also think that one of the things we've all really struggled with is how do we keep kids engaged in an online platform? So my thought was start with something fun. Start with something that's really engaging. Maybe bingo's it, maybe it's something else. But start with something that is not work related, maybe reinforcer related. Maybe they get to play with reinforcers for a few minutes. Maybe you do another kind of reinforcing game. You could use Simon Says, you could use I Spy, you could use Mother May I. Anything that both gets them moving or gets them excited about being there. Then when it's done, you can set a timer, just play for that amount of time. And then, so say 5 minutes of the session or 3 minutes of the session, timer goes off. Okay, everybody sit down. Now let's work. So it's just going to bring everybody to you in a much more engaged type of situation. So I think that that is a really important thing. It's going to make it fun. It's also going to pair your online sessions with reinforcement. And I think that that's a really key thing to do. We think about doing that in the classroom, but we don't always remember that we're going to need to do that when we're working online with our students. So we need to pair ourselves. You know, if you're doing bubbles, if they like to watch the bubbles, you can blow them and they can watch them on the screen. If not, someone at home can blow them. But you want to pair being in front of the iPad, the computer, whatever it is, with things that are reinforcing for them so that they want to be there and they want to engage. You could another thing that you could do to make your online sessions more motivating is do theme days. Spirit day, pajama day, funny hat day. Do those on a regular basis so that they are surprised. Maybe they know it's coming, so they're really excited to show their favorite sports shirt. Give them a reason to want to show up to class. Find something that they're excited about that they can show off. You can use show and tell the same way, even for our older students. Even for our older students, we could have them show us something in their house that they're really proud of, or introduce us to somebody in their house that they really want us to meet. You could work on speaking skills. They could write something about that, and then they can tell you about something. So something that they did with their family. They could work on recounting activities. Those kinds of things that bring that together with your online sessions are a way to get your kids to want to be there. You want to make it fun and engaging. You don't want it to make it overwhelming. You know your students best, so you'll have to figure out where the line is for how exciting it is versus how not exciting it is. But it's just a way to get them on board with all of that. So that's bingo and ideas for online engagement. I also think for in-class, again, I think they're going to need more movement. So I think you're going to want to have regular movement breaks during the day. So in between, during transitions, everybody gets up and does 5 quick stretches. Somebody's the leader. They get to choose what the activity is. They tell everybody else what to do. At another transition, another student's the leader. So they get to tell everybody what to do. So it's just a way of building that up so that everybody wants to engage in the activities and they get up and have kind of a break. Because if you think about it, when they normally leave their setting, their area, they go to the schedule, they get their visual, they take it to the next place, they're moving around. So we really want to build it up so that they're moving around more because we've got more limited options for that in the school year. So that's that. Next up is number 3, new products coming. And if anybody has any questions, drop them in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer them if I can. I won't say that I'm an expert to be able to answer them, but new products are coming. I have, if you own my laundry books, my laundry interactive books that have comprehension, sequencing, all those kinds of things, those are getting an upgrade. And I'm hoping to do them tonight, at which point the price will go up just a little bit. I am adding in a Google Slides version. So you are going to, actually, I'll show you that. Let's see. I don't know why that keeps doing that. And then it does that. Okay. Technology's great when it works. There we go. Okay. So this is just what it's going to look like. So there's going to be the print version as well as the interactive version. And you'll get both if you already own this product. These are my Doing the Laundry. There's 5 books. There are 5 sets of comprehension task cards for the books. They're all real photos and they are designed and there's sequencing as well. So you click on one of them and you go to the first book and then there's comprehension cards and there's text. So they come in pictures and text. If I go back to this, we can do Doing the Laundry. There are cue cards, the same ones with just text, and sequencing activities, all in Google Slides. So there's washing the clothes, same thing. So if you want to see these, it's going to ask you from that page, it'll ask you to make a copy. And then they have to drag the answers for the comprehension cards. You can decide which ones you want to assign. Text is the same thing with just text, and the sequencing is another drag and drop. So keep in mind, it'll work in Google Slides. It may not work in something like Seesaw. If I click it, it's going to ask me to make a copy. And then I'm going to have to drag them over to put them in order. Now it's time to dry the wet clothes. So this is actually, sorry, I was thinking it was a different book. So anyway, they're going to drag them over. These are exactly the same pictures that are in the books. So they're going to use them to drag them over here to put them in order of the story. I'm hoping that these will be up tonight. So hopefully, I don't know why there's two of those. That should be up tonight. If you buy it now, they're $10 for all 5 books. If you buy them later, I think they'll probably be 12, but they will be on sale. So there's that. In addition, I have a salad unit making a salad unit that I will be putting up online today or tomorrow. And it focuses on, come back to the camera. It focuses on a recipe that students can do singly at their desk. You give them all the materials so they can do it as a group if you had that option. So you can use it later for group cooking. But until then, you can use it as an opportunity for individual cooking, because all they have to do, they can cut the vegetables, they can tear the lettuce, they can make their own salad and eat their own salad. So it eliminates the health issues involved with all of that. But it also will be available in the pieces for comprehension. There's comprehension, there's sequencing, there's a worksheet about what's being done. All of those will also be available online. So you could send it to them in Google Slides. So if they want to do it at home, you could have them do it at home and then answer the question. So it would be a really good, if you're doing distance learning, it would be a really good activity for being able to do asynchronous learning at home. They could make a salad and then tell you about it, use the comprehension sheets, answer the questions, put it in the sequence, all that kind of stuff. So that'll be up tomorrow at the latest. And now I just thought I'd take questions, but I'm not sure we've got any questions. I don't have anybody. If you've got things that you want to talk about or things that you're concerned about, I'm more than happy to chat. I'll wait just a minute. Don't forget that the sale is going on. It is going on until tomorrow at midnight, and the promo code is BTS20, Back to School 20. And almost everything across the site is up to 25% off. Everything in my store, if you use the promo code, is 25% off. This is an awesome time to grab bundles. It's an awesome time to grab any kind of products that you think you might need. I'm working very hard to make those materials that I can make into something that if you already own them, you'll be able to use them with Google Slides. And to make more distance learning. But I really want to be able to give you something that if you're in the classroom, you can use it. And if you're not in the classroom, you can use it, because I know it's very frustrating if your district has gone to distance learning to have materials that you may not be able to share with the students. I'm just trying to figure out the clip art and things like that to make that happen. All right. No questions? It's a quiet day today. I think a lot of people may have gone back to school today or yesterday. All right. Well, if you have questions, definitely put them down below. I will put the link to the bingo boards in this post. And if you have any questions about anything, I don't guarantee I can answer it, but I will certainly try. If you have any questions about bingo boards or the sale or any of the other products, definitely let me know as well. Thanks, guys. Oh, and I will be back with Quick Tip Tuesday in a little while.